My wife returned from a work retreat with a Hickey, and she claims it's just a bug bite, but I'm sure the only thing that could have bit her was a man. Posted by you/Thrower Sunflower Buff. I, 27M, am in a fight with my wife, 28F. We've had fights before, but not this bad. I'm at a loss on how to proceed. For context, we're college sweethearts, married for almost 6 years. We have a daughter, 4F. Our relationship was never perfect or without challenges. We've faced some family opposition with cultural differences, but we've made it work. She's my first love and my best friend. My wife works in corporate. Her job is annual work retreats that last for about a week. This year's retreat was in Vegas. I usually arrange my work schedule and tag along with her, turning it into a trip for us. We couldn't do that this year. Our daughter experiences major anxiety when traveling long distances. We're working on it, but she wasn't budging, and we decided to choose our battles. So, I stayed behind and held down the fort at home. The change of plans was disappointing because the trip was part of how we reconnected as both a couple and a family. My wife's work hours have taken a toll, and her work-life balance leaves much to be desired. We entertained the idea of her skipping the retreat. Attendance is optional, but it's generally frowned upon if you don't go, and my wife is making important connections in her field. Before she left, she started acting strange. We have a system for staying in contact whenever one of us is away for an extended period. For the first day or so, she was herself, but then she grew distant. I'd text her about important things and be left on read while she later claimed she never saw my messages. Whenever we talked, she was rushing me or our daughter off the phone, even at times when she wasn't involved in retreat activities. We were supposed to have a mini birthday celebration for our daughter over FaceTime. Our daughter was excited, as it was something my wife had promised her since the retreat overlapped with her actual birthday. But my wife backed out because she had people up to her room after a seminar. It felt like she wanted my permission to break her promise to our daughter. I told her I wasn't going to give that, nor was I going to make her keep her word. She said I wasn't being fair and that this was a networking opportunity. According to her, the people she was with were business-oriented and wouldn't understand her stepping away for family time. I told her that her decision was her decision, but she would have to explain it to our daughter. She promised to make it up the next day. Our daughter didn't understand and cried. My wife ended up hanging up and leaving me to comfort our daughter alone. That whole incident rubbed me the wrong way. She didn't keep her word for the rain check either. Meanwhile, she was documenting the retreat on social media. One coworker, 23M, was in almost every picture and video, practically attached to her hip. In one picture, he had his arm too comfortably around her, in my opinion. He's a recent hire in my wife's department, and she was asked to oversee him. I don't like the guy. He doesn't know boundaries. Once, in response to a work assignment, he texted my wife that she was exactly the kind of woman he needed to keep him in check. My wife brushed it off. She feels bad for him because he's not fitting in, so she took him under her wing during his first retreat with the team. Whenever I asked about things, she'd say she was tired or busy networking. There was always something. But I've seen her at these retreats before, this wasn't like her. She was just off. The day before she returned home, she complained about a bruise on her neck. She stressed that it was a bug bite. I didn't actually see the bruise until she came home, and when I did, I instantly thought it was a full-on Hickey. She had made a big deal of it over the phone, but when I saw it in person, she brushed it off. I didn't push the issue at first because our daughter was present. But when I was finally able to confront her, she clung to her bug bite story. When I kept pressing, she asked what I was trying to imply. I outright told her I believed it was a Hickey and that I didn't believe she was being honest with me. That's when we had it out. She was offended and pissed at the accusation. Infidelity has always been a sore topic because her family has a history of cheating. We had a pretty bad fight, and she accused me of picking a fight because of the incident with our daughter's birthday. I told her it had nothing to do with that and everything to do with the Hickey on her neck. The fight ended in an impasse. We still haven't recovered. She swears it's a bug bite, but I'm not convinced. I've always trusted my wife. I never doubted her, but this bruise doesn't look like a bug bite, it looks like a Hickey. That feeling only gets stronger when I consider how distant and weird she was during the Vegas retreat. Now, she's been wearing turtlenecks ever since, and we're stuck between arguing and her showering our daughter and me with affection. Communication usually prevails for us, but not this time. I think my accusation pushed us to a new level of argument. I'm at a loss here. I really need outside perspectives. How do I move forward? Relevant comments. Commenter. I'm not saying it's impossible, but I've never gotten a bug bite that looked like a Hickey. Did she show you her phone or provide any proof to support her innocence, or did she just dismiss you? The extra affection is a common move from guilt-ridden cheaters. Even if we stretch the imagination and believe it is a bug bite, she wasn't acting trustworthy, nor was she a good mother while she was in Vegas, and she needs to address and correct that. Ops response. No, I haven't had access to her phone. We usually have an open phone policy, but it's not something we've ever really practiced. I'm sure it'll turn into another argument. Commenter 2. Why did you go on work trips with her in the past? Did she want you to, or did you not want her to go alone? What is the system when one of you is away, and why is it necessary? Whose idea was the FaceTime birthday celebration? Did she not talk to her daughter at all on her birthday, or could she just not do the FaceTime celebration? Ops response. Work/life balance was an issue, so she'd invite me on the retreats. The system is for extended periods away from each other, like the length of the retreat, especially now that we have a child. The birthday FaceTime was my wife's idea. She promised our daughter and got her excited about it. No, she didn't talk to our daughter until she was calling to cancel. That's another reason the birthday stunt rubbed me the wrong way. Commenter 3. No offense, but you come across as really insecure. So what if she wanted to disconnect from mom duties for a few days and enjoy the company of other adults? I certainly would love the ability to do that. If she says it was a bug bite, it's a bug bite. Unless you have definite proof otherwise, let it go. Just because there's infidelity in her family doesn't mean she was on this trip for that reason. You're rolling a bunch of different things together to make a very loose case. Let it go and enjoy the time you have now with your daughter and wife. Ops response. Yeah, you don't get to disconnect from being a parent, especially to a minor, for extended holidays. You certainly don't ghost them on their birthday after promising to do something special and getting the child excited about it, nor do you hang up on them while they're crying. I'm not insecure. My wife has gone on these retreats before. We both work outside the home and share the responsibility of caring for our daughter, so there's no imbalance. My wife's work-life balance is out of sorts. She spends plenty of time in the company of other adults. I've been with my wife on these retreats and other social events. I know how she is. She was off this entire trip, and I didn't appreciate her entertaining a coworker who ignores boundaries, having his arm wrapped around her waist like he was claiming her or something. I trusted her when she said she had a bug bite. I even got things to help her treat it for when she returned. It was only after I saw the bruise in person that there was no mistaking it was a Hickey, and I questioned her on it. Update 1 week later. I wanted to give an update and thank everyone who reached out. The outside perspectives helped. Things are a roller coaster. I'm trying to process. It took a while for my wife and me to have any real conversation about the bruise on her neck. I rarely saw the bruise because she was turtlenecked up, but I did note the healing process from reddish purple to yellow. There wasn't any more discussion about the Vegas retreat. She made it clear she was done talking about it and that she shouldn't need to defend herself to her husband. I told her she could do whatever she wanted, but I was done being treated like an idiot, and I wasn't sharing a bed with someone I couldn't trust. So I moved into the guest room. Communication stopped. The silences were palpable. Even our daughter noticed. I'm not proud of that. I try to keep her out of fights. My wife came to the guest room one night and asked if we could talk. I could tell she'd been crying. She said she hated the way things were between us. She felt she was losing me either way. I told her I needed complete honesty. She confessed she hooked up with that coworker, 23M, on our daughter's birthday. The Hickey was from him. She was lost in the heat of the moment and didn't realize he was leaving a mark on her neck. By her account, they made out while doing some on top of the clothes stuff, and then he went down on her. It stopped there because he called her by a nickname that I affectionately call her. It snapped her back to the reality of her actions. She went to splash water on her face and saw the Hickey. The guy made light of it and joked about the Hickey being her souvenir. She blew up on him and kicked him out of her suite. Part of the reason she was avoiding me was out of guilt. She said she's coming clean because she doesn't want to hide things anymore. I asked her why she cheated. What was it about that guy that she deemed worth risking everything? She claimed it wasn't him specifically, nor is she unhappy with our marriage. She doesn't really know how to explain it, but a part of her feels broken. The more she looks in the mirror, the more she sees her dad, 57M, a cycle of being consumed with work, distant from her child, and the infidelity he put her mom, 55F, through. She said her family never talked about anything openly, and when she was growing up, my mother-in-law never addressed anything with her. I told her that her parents didn't make her cheat. She chose to party with a guy who constantly disrespected our relationship. These were all her decisions, and at any point, she could have chosen our family. She agreed. She wants to blame her parents but realizes this is on her. She apologized for cheating and for entertaining the guy's advances. She said she'll do whatever it takes to repair things, go to HR, quit her job, counseling, etc., anything. She wants to make everything right. I told her I don't know what right looks like or if that's possible for us anymore. I knew we had our problems, but I thought there wasn't anything we couldn't talk out. She insisted we still could. We didn't have to give up on us. She tried giving this rallying cry for our relationship, but I felt very numb. I told her I didn't recognize her, not just because of the betrayal of our vows but also because of how she treated our daughter. She feels like a stranger. She said she feels like she failed as a wife and mother, but she loves us both beyond words and wants our life together and our family intact. I told her I couldn't give her the answer she wanted and thought we needed to separate and reevaluate. She didn't want separation. She felt we should stay together in our home, but I told her a separation was happening. Either she was leaving the home, or I was taking our daughter with me. She consented to leaving so as to not uproot our daughter too much. She asked that our daughter not be taken away from her. My wife is staying with my in-laws. I know that's difficult in itself because she doesn't have the best relationship with her parents. One of the hardest parts is the shift for our daughter. Right now, she believes her mom is just busy with work as usual. She hasn't questioned it too much. My mother-in-law called the other day. She made no excuses for my wife but is advocating for us to work through it. She told me about times when she heard my wife describe me as the anchor she always wanted. She believes there's something worth fighting for if I'm open. Despite some family opposition we faced throughout our relationship, my mother-in-law was always a supporter of us. I'm even more at a loss. I never imagined this kind of betrayal from my wife. She was my safe place. I feel numb yet broken. I'm in love with her. That hasn't changed. But I don't see myself, her, our relationship, or our family the same. Everything feels more tense because it's still fresh. I think this period of separation is for the best. I'm not sure about divorce. I haven't let myself fully go there. I'm not set either way. I don't know where things go from here, but I'm focusing on our daughter and taking things one step at a time. I feel that's all I can do right now. Thanks again to everyone for the support. It's much appreciated. Relevant comments. Commenter. I have to say, if you think she didn't sleep with this man, you are naive. She saw she was losing you and knew she had to tell you something, but I don't think she gave you the full truth. Ask her if she's willing to take a polygraph test to prove she didn't do more. Ask her to let you go through her phone and read her messages. Tell her you've purchased an app that lets you recover deleted messages. These programs exist, but don't buy one, just bluff her. Tell her she has one last chance to come clean, and if you recover any messages that show she is still lying, then you are done. Another tactic you could try is having her text him right in front of you. Tell her to text him something like, "Can't wait to hook up again on the next work trip." If she refuses, it's because she is lying about what happened and knows his response will confirm it. If they truly did not sleep together and she did blow up at him and kick him out of her room, then he would probably respond to that message with confusion. If she has something to hide, she will likely confess. But even if she is telling the truth, it still shows no love or respect for you on her part. If you stay, I demand she sign a post-nup guaranteeing you don't get screwed if you decide to divorce and/or if she cheats again, she will cheat again sooner or later. And if you stay, you should tell her she needs to quit and find a new job. In her new job, there can be no work trips. Oh, and she didn't come clean because she didn't want to hide things. I guarantee if you had dropped the subject, she would have as well. She came clean because she saw she was losing you and knew she had to say something. So this woman is still lying to you. If she really didn't want to hide things, she would have come clean from the beginning. Commenter 2. One question, how close was the colleague to her to know the nickname that you use? And why did she let him get this close to her, both literally and figuratively? Ops response. At the time, I knew they had a friendship. She was asked to mentor him as he joined her department, so she took him under her wing and was supposed to be showing him the ropes. They would text and stuff, and he would cross boundaries. His texts increasingly read like a guy fishing for an opportunity. My wife shut the idea down as not even a factor for her, and I chose to trust my wife because I never had a reason to doubt her before. As for the nickname, it was something only I called her, but it wasn't a secret or anything. I used it in front of others and our daughter. She claims the guy overheard me say it when she had me on speaker once, and he asked her about it afterward.